Yes.
Their favorite cafe for their favorite member. You'll never guess where he comes from, so here it is, St. Nicholas, Chiswick. This church certainly has a most unusual curate in Father Brown. He's a motorcycling enthusiast. He's joined that group of riders, and now he's practically the leader. He believes motorcyclists are a much maligned race, with a lot more good than harm in them. He must be the only rider of a 350cc who has to grapple with a cassock. Father Brown hardly has time to get into the top before he meets the gang. His motto is, take religion to the people. Don't wait for them to come to church first. What's on the program today? A run on the old bike, of course. But that's the second item. The first will surprise you. Evidently, the Padre's as much at home here as in the saddle or pulpit. This is the sort of place to meet the younger generation where they're thoroughly at home. Here begins the first twist. If you really want to get with it, you have to shed a layer or two. Now for the open road, where the ton-uppers come into their own in another way. This is the modern way to get about, says Father Brown, if you enjoy speed on a shoestring. A lot of harsh things have been said about young chaps on motorbikes. Where the church is concerned, Father Brown's motto is, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em.
It wasn't the scooter that would spell the end for these British motorcycles. The small acorn from which the great oak of the Japanese industry grew was this, the Honda monkey bike. At first, the threat of the new technology wasn't taken seriously. As Britons debated over what was fashionable to wear, they didn't realize that the bikes they sat on were themselves hopelessly out of date. The committee system had taken over British manufacturing, and unsurprisingly, compromised machines were the result. The public had become desperate for something new. Many of the bikes they rode had technology unchanged since the 1930s. The BSA Triple and its sister bike, the Triumph Trident, were unveiled in 1968. They flopped. The designs were considered too angular and ugly, with engines powerful but old and unsophisticated. Norton's Muscular Commando gave that company some success, but then came the killer blow. The public looked on in awe at the Honda 750. Its smooth ride, flexible engine, electric starter, 120 mile/hour top speed, and the fact that it was cheaper than Britain's competing triples meant there was only one choice to make. It went on to inspire a whole generation of machines from Japan, and not just at the top of the market. They took over the unglamorous utilitarian end too, with machines like the Honda Scooterette. Racing success, as ever, helped to sell motorcycles. The Japanese now ruled the roost from top to bottom. Britain had fallen too far behind to ever catch up. Industrial strife, conservative design strategy, lack of forward planning and investment meant that it was now Japan's turn to write a new chapter in the history of motorcycling.